Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Another edition of Riverbend Talon on the Big Z, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. A sea shanty sing-along already underway down at Morrisons Irish Pub on a Thursday night. Trivia night going on later tonight at the Conservatory at 6:30. The Truckers, 7 o'clock, they fired up down at Fast Eddie's in Alton until 11. Open mic at Ragin Cajun starts at 9 tonight in Alton. Jay Hollinger, I think it's his first show up at George's local brew. New owners there, 6 to 9 for Jay Hollinger tonight. Up in Jerseyville, the Skylark Brothers duo underway at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville until 9 o'clock. The Double Wide duo from 7 to 11, right around the corner at the Foundry Public House in Edwardsville. Drew Schaefer, Audrey Sims, and Eric Ing, 6 to 9 at the cabin at Judy Creek tonight in Glen Carbon. Flipside Light, 7 to 11 at Doit's Village Inn and Pontoon Beach. Mo Pleasure, doing there every other Thursday at Patrick's until 9 o'clock. Scott Marlin starts at 7 at Pavia's Place, goes till 10 tonight in Granite City. Dave Horton, 5:30, was already underway. Prairie Inn and Dorsey until 8:30. And, of course, Experience Live Music Row kicking off down there in Belleville, the festival that never ends. Experience Live Music Row and the main drags in Belleville. Hey, what's up, Pigpen's coming into the shop. What's going on, Mr. Pigpen? I just went through the list, and you were checking on one of our guests, waiting on him to get here. We got one here, though, so we're ready to go.
And we're, I was relieved of my duties.
Yeah, okay.
I was relieved of my post.
We got all kinds of volunteers around here, thanks.
All right, so what happened? What did I miss? I feel like I missed a whole lot.
Your job is to introduce Sean.
Okay. Well, are we to that point already?
Yeah.
Well, then I will say this. Our guest, a first-timer, too. Welcome to the show. Our guest is Sean Garrett, and you are from Whiskey River.
Yes, sir.
And you are the vocalist, guitar player?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. And so, I was waiting for Adam Keeney.
Keedy. Yes,
Keedy.
Keedy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Keedy, and he's the bass player. He's going to join
sir.
us.
Yeah, he was coming from work. You know how it is. So.
Absolutely. He probably hit some traffic, maybe had to take the long way to pregame a little bit. I don't know.
Stoplights of Alton, you know.
And then missing in action, a show favorite, Kenny McPeak.
Yes, sir.
We love Kenny. He's great, and he plays drums with you. And then Grant, the fiddle player.
Grant Texter.
Grant Fester, there you go. So, the four of you make up the band Whiskey River. You guys been around for a while. We've been saying the name Whiskey River for quite a while now.
Yeah, last 3 or 4 years.
So you pretty steadily gigging too, because we say the name pretty regularly.
We try to stay busy, yes.
And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have you in, because as we go through the list that Dennis makes up every week of all the gigs on this side of the river. Oh, maybe that's a guest. I don't know.
See a lot of Whiskey River.
Well, we're trying to keep the whole show rolling here. So anyway, we've said the name quite a bit as we read the gigs from the area. So we thought it was finally time to bring you in and meet you,
right,
and find out about Whiskey River. How long have you guys been together?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years, since right when the COVID epidemic hit.
Yeah, okay.
So I was doing acoustic pretty steadily before that, and Adam came out, and I had done Whiskey River was around before, like quite a few years, probably 20 years before that.
I was going to say,
okay.
And I was playing, but like a gig for probably 3 to 6 months with them. I fill in for their singer, and then got back with him again, and he come out to gigs and say, "Hey, why don't we start a band?" So everybody's always going, "Why shouldn't you?" Put a band behind you, man. I think it'd be great, So that's what I did.
All right, so two things on that. First of all, you said you're out doing the acoustic thing, just kind of like open mics and.
I was doing more solo.
Like wineries and.
Wineries. I do there was a place in Worden, which is now the Rustic, which we're going to be at soon.
Yeah.
It was the Wild Turkey.
Okay,
places like that. Yeah.
So the other question that came to mind as you said that is, you said Whiskey River was around for like 20 years.
Yeah,
and then went away for a while.
Yeah.
About how long was the hiatus, do you think?
I don't really know. I
5
have to talk to Adam about that. He knows more about it than me.
You know what, Adam? I don't know if you're out there listening right now. But you should take it easy and don't hurry. There's no rush. There is no rush.
Like I said, they respect at work, man. So we appreciate you letting me in to talk with you guys anyway.
No problem. To say something like the band was around for 20 years and then went away brings many questions to mind. We'll get to some of those when Adam gets here. But in the meantime, the portion that you do know is that you were not an original member.
No, I had played, like I said, I come with him probably, I'm not sure when it was. It was early 2000s. So I would come out and play with him probably like 3 to 6 months I played with him. And then the singer was gone or something out of town. Yeah. So that's what it was. You know
so while the singer had to leave town, you filled in. Yes. You filled in for a while.
Yes, sir.
And then when the singer got back, you went back to doing your thing.
Right.
And then later, as you're doing the acoustic thing at wineries and different rustic and different places, you bump into Adam. You bump into Adam, and he was one of the original Whiskey River, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Or at least,
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I'm starting to get my history down. I hope everyone else is following.
That's as much as I know about. You know.
Well, you may know more. What about Kenny? Was Kenny an original guy back then?
No. Kenny. Me and Kenny had been in a few bands before, so we did like the Leftovers. Was with one of my friends from the old Public Nuisance band, which was way old.
Right.
So, but we were in the Leftovers, and we played at Chico's and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
So Public Nuisance. About what time frame was that?
Oh, 90s. That band was around a long time.
Now in the 90s, I almost feel like when you said that, I'm like, okay, so.
Oh, man.
I feel like I knew that name, and immediately I kind of went to the late 80s, early 90s, to sort of the grannies rocker sort of era, and I can't, like some of the old bands from them I can sort of like picture, but Public Nuisance sounds familiar. What type of music were you playing?
We played the rock, the 80s rock, and we tried to be the heavy metal guys, but that didn't go over well in some of the bars.
So I'm assuming you're from the Roxanne area.
I'm from Bunker Hill.
Bunker Hill.
But I lived in around the Gillespie area, which is where that band pretty much spawned
Public
from.
Nuisance spawned from there.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So did you have some hairspray back in the day?
Oh man, I had the big hair, man. I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah.
The internet can haunt you. We're gonna find him with big hair and spandex.
I had the best Kentucky waterfall you ever seen.
Good name for a band, though. Public Nuisance.
Yeah, well, it was a friend of ours started it, and my best friend was in it, but another guy started it because he got a ticket up at Benilde for being a public nuisance.
Oh, okay.
Coliseum Ballroom area.
Close to that area, yes.
Yeah. Leaving the Coliseum, a lot of people get...
Benilde.
Yeah, oh yeah. Benilde's famous for two things, Coliseum Ballroom and,
I was
the oldest profession.
Little Chicago, yeah.
Little Chicago.
I'm going to say Bunker Hill's always been a sore spot for me because I was cutting through there a few times to get to Benilde, and they like to pull you over in that town.
Oh, really?
Back in the day, when Benilde was hopping.
Yeah.
So I lived in Midway.
Oh, really?
Right down there.
Yeah.
Literally right down the next township down the road from Bunker Hill. And I would take a million ways, Lee. There's a lot of ways to get from Midway to over to Godfrey, Alton area.
Country way.
But Bunker Hill truly was one that I would take some of the least, because you knew you were going to see 2 or 3 policemen. And hey, I'm not saying we shouldn't have policemen. I'm glad we do. I don't want anarchy. I like feeling safe walking the streets, but we still all have that moment of, oh no,
they're behind. Get nervous.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah, for me it was like I creep down to 25 through there, and then I see the sign that says 40 something, so I start speeding up, and I get pulled over. He's like, "You can't speed up till you get to the sign."
The tractors do faster than 40 through there, my friend.
I'm like, really? Yeah. Come on.
And again, nobody wants to get pulled over. We all want safety, so I'm not. But that we. I'm sure some people have had that night where you're out partying, your friend's like, "Hey, can you drive?" And you're like, Yeah.
After the gig.
Just can't get pulled over.
After the gig, man. It's just like, you know.
Oh man, yeah, those after the gig ride homes, especially if you're on the road and you do the old turn and burn where you got like a 2 or 3 hour road trip and you decide a hotel is not worth it. We're just gonna at 3 a.m. after packing up, we're just gonna drive the U-Haul.
Those days you get the free beer and it's like, free drinks and then you owe us $300. You know,
you boys sure did drink a lot of beer.
It's like the Blues Brothers.
I like to write the check on the dashboard.
I was just wondering what got you started in music back when you were a child. Did you play, or did you have family that played?
My mom.
Okay.
My mom was with the Amazon River Boys.
Oh, okay.
Which was they're a pretty good band back then.
Yeah.
They're well known. People still talk about them. So.
Okay, hold on. Let's before we move on real quick, let's talk about that for just a second.
All right.
Your mom was with the Amazon River Boys.
Yes, sir.
I love it because your mom is with a group that's a group of
boys.
First of all, that's first right off the bat.
Tomboy singer.
Right off the bat. And next, like okay, so what was it like? I'm picturing harmony type music.
Oh yes, it was very good. It was kind of like the
I remember the
Eagles
name.
Type. Yeah, you know they had opened up for the Daredevils. I want to say.
Oh wow, nice.
I'm not sure where it was. Might have been a river festival or something like that. But I can't remember. Sure, I was just a little guy. So, but that's where I got started from was her, and now she's with Random Gravity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We say that name quite a bit too.
Yeah, they are playing quite a bit now. So they got them a good piano player, man.
Oh man,
Obermeyer guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rolling.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
there you go, Random Gravity. Hey, kudos to Mom for continuing to go forever.
I'm speechless. It very rarely happens, but as soon as you said she's still playing with Random Gravity, I'm like, I don't even know where to go with that now because like. I can't even play now, but I the little I can play, I hope I still can in 20 years.
Yeah. I'd like to be doing it forever, but you know how it is.
So I guess she got you an acoustic guitar from Halpin Music, of course.
Actually, I was a drummer.
Oh, okay.
I was a drummer then, and my brother was a bass player.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a little band called Riptide. Remember the TV show Riptide?
Okay.
That's what we had. So that was our.
Hey, kudos to Mom again for starting them on drums and bass.
Because that's
totally thinking.
If you've got drums and bass, you've got a good foundation here to build from.
We drove. They band practice there at the house. We lived on a farm at the time, and they do in the basement. And we'd go to school, so we sleep upstairs, and we get to hear the loud music all night.
Yeah.
And go to bed, But then when it's our turn, shut that loud music up.
right.
Put them drumsticks down. It's loud down here.
Yeah, because I'm sure you were playing some heavy stuff if you were doing the hair bands,
I like the, we were doing the Def Leppard in 86 or so. I was probably a freshman in high school, so that was the thing,
Yeah.
And my little brother's like, what is this stuff, man?
Yeah. His little brother still play?
Yes, he plays with Pete Mayer Band.
Okay, Pete Mayer.
Which is, used to be a good band around here,
Nice. So the whole family's still out in action here.
Yes,
huh?
sir. Yes, sir.
And again.
So if Adam don't get here soon, you can call your brother.
Yeah, I know. I think he's on the road right now. Which like I say, you know how he just got off work, so I apologize.
No, that's fine.
I know they were wanting to be here bad, but they got to put in the cable and stuff. So.
We've got a rule around here: if they're not here, we can talk about them.
Right.
That's right. We can do that.
And you're here. We've had it before where we'd have one guest lined up, and that one guest would get caught after work. Matter of fact, Danny Liston just fell asleep after work one day, and he called me an hour after the show and said, "Oh my gosh, I fell asleep after work." It was like one of those 100-degree days, though.
Yeah,
And what are you going to do? Be mad about it?
Yeah,
Like, dude, I'm so sorry you had to work today.
Well, I listen to you guys. I watch you guys' show sometimes, and I check in as Dennis knows on his, and I really think it's cool you guys do the local music and the local bands. It's pretty nice, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing.
This area has, to me, so I've traveled quite a bit, and in my life I've been lucky enough to travel around, and big cities like St. Louis right across the river. I've been to major metropolises that don't have as poppin' of a music scene as this little area has, and we've over the past, well, I almost said 10 years, but you corrected me. 7 years.
Yeah, 7.5, Big Ben.
7.5.
I gotta have my facts.
We're 7 3/4. Yeah.
Right.
So in the past,
You're making me feel old though, so I had to back it off.
I get it. So in the past, in the past few years that we've been on, we've said it many times that having Halpin Music here since I don't even know. They've been there since the 1800s. It seems like
they've been around a long time, man. Since I can
and then we
remember,
also had Hopper, Don and Jody Hopper, and between those two people, those two music stores, they supplied a lot of kids with instruments that wouldn't have got them, otherwise. And then we had so many great music teachers in the area that we've talked about. Tim Jardin's been on the show, and actually his son is now, my daughter's in the jazz band at high school, and she loves his son, Chris Jardin. He's the teacher. But yeah, we are very lucky to have the music scene we have, and the reason we do this show and the reason Dennis started it was to inform people that people say, oh, there's nothing going on.
All the time, man.
There
There's a lot
are
of good local bands out there.
Pages and pages of things going on, and this is just this side of the river, and going like Grafton, trying to hit mainly the listening area.
Yeah.
And people should be proud that we have that many venues, that we have that many bands, and we see venues come and go. We see them fall off, but usually as one falls off, with the exception of 2020, if one falls off, another one pops up in its place, and it's beautiful. So
and guys like you can make a living doing this. Do you work another job?
This is what I do. I had broke down a little bit because I told you my health ain't real great these days, but I was doing like 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah,
doing the acoustic and band, whatever I could get in, drummer, bass player, anything I could do. But
trio, duo.
Yes, sir. And we do got a duo. Me and Grant, the fiddle player. We do that sometimes, off and on. When, they want something simple or whatever. So.
Well, and we've told a lot of the young bands that have come in that young bands and not even young bands, a lot of just original bands that. You can do original music. We know a lot of guys that have an original band, but then they also are playing wineries, and they're also doing solo gigs and duos to help make enough money so that they got time to write songs.
Yeah, it ain't easy. I don't think the pay has gone up maybe $25 since the 80s, since I've been doing it. It's not hard.
The gig economy does not keep up with minimum wage type levels because they don't look at it like, oh, how many hours did you actually put into this gig that you're only on stage for, 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and that's a lot really in these days. People, it takes a lot out of you if you're singing all night or whatever. It's not an easy thing to do.
And if you're tearing equipment down out of your home studio and loading it up, and then you take it to this place and you set it up, and now at the end of it you got to tear it down. And I remember it was always like back in the day. Back in the day, I say, back in like the late 80s and early 90s, there was a band called The Undecided around here, and my best buddy, Scott Robertson, was the drummer, and I kind of lived with them, and so I became their light man for a long time. I was the light man as a teenager, and to me, I had high school to get to or whatever, but when we would get a back-to-back gig, a Friday, Saturday at the same place, or we had a steady gig that was Wednesday, Thursday in Worden for years, and it's like, I can set up once and get paid for 2 gigs? Yeah. You set up once, and that's like getting paid double because you're really just getting paid to set up and tear down.
The house gigs. Those are pretty nice.
Yeah, you got, you feel like you won the lottery with something like that.
Yeah, the house bands are good, but you got to learn. You know what I'm saying? You got to change your music quite a bit.
Oh yeah. So I've told a few people about this too, like guys who do it for a living that one great gig that I've met musicians that I've known is that they go to they'll go to Colorado to the ski resort and play all winter long, and then they'll go down to Florida to like a resort and play all summer long, and they have 1 week's worth of material for their, like, if it's a 4-hour show, they got to have 7 days of material, and they just start again on Monday because all them people are new. Everybody's new, so you can do the bit you did last Monday, and nobody knows you're doing the same jokes and the same songs.
No, that's great. That's great. That's a good thing.
But that's a lot of material.
Yeah. I got a lot of material. I try to learn. I've been learning songs for a long time, so I retain all that, But I got a lot. I try not to do the same show. I don't keep a set list. I play off the crowd, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that.
Right.
I keep a list of maybe what do you call it? Just a standard list. Maybe I got a list in case I get lost and don't want to do something. Or
if you have that moment where you can't even think of
Yeah, or, you know,
and I do that a lot where it's like somebody tell me what to do.
and you want your guys to be able to, that's like, what do you guys want to play? You know, you want your guys to be happy with what you're playing too, you know. So.
Yeah. And I know a lot of musicians that, you know, so a lot of people have a set list. They walk up and that's exactly what they're going to play.
Yeah,
it'll even say what key they're going to play.
That's hard to do.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that too. And it'll say encore. And, you know.
Yeah, people say, what key is that?
But then I
And
know
then there's guys with phones that just look up whatever song you want to hear.
Yeah.
They hit it on their phone and play it for the first time.
I am guilty, not of the phone, but I did have like a word book, and I'm so old school. I won't even print it out. I will write it all by hand and put it in the book. You know, that's
it helps you remember the words.
It does, and after a while, you do remember them, and you throw that one away and put it in a new one.
I think it also goes the other way, where if you've got a song memorized, you know, I mean, say like a John Prine, like a 3-4 chord song, and you know the melody and you know the words, and you've been playing it for a few years, but suddenly you get to where you're playing these gigs and you put it in a book and you're looking at it all the time. Suddenly it's hard to do it without the book. It's like you got it. You've forgotten that you know it already. And you start relying.
Sometimes you can slip because you think of something.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of this song. You'll just. You know, sometimes you think it's muscle memory, and then all of a sudden you'll slip up. So I mean, it happens.
Oh yeah.
Mistakes are there.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the fun part about seeing live music.
Yeah, that is.
You know what I mean? It's not going to go as planned every single time.
No, me, I like to be perfect, but I mean, I know it ain't going to go that way.
Right,
know.
right.
Well,
and some of the coolest things that happen are mistakes.
Oh, it is.
And they turn into, you know, an improv that, you know, you played 2 songs in one, but you got something.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
do
I mean?
that. We do that a lot. I'll start, just keep going. I'll throw that.
Yeah.
I do, what is the Elvis's Which Way Choose? I'll throw it to the South's going to do it again because it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I run them together sometimes if Grant can't make it. Sometimes you got guys can't show up.
Right.
You know, so we'll run them together and it's just the same damn song, you know.
Well, and that, you know, so a lot of songs are the same chord progression. If you're using, say, the number system is 1, 3, 5.
Right, yeah.
and so... Especially if you've had a few libations and you get to where you're just having some fun on stage, jamming a little musical part for a minute, and you haven't said any words for a minute, and all of a sudden you're like, what are we doing again? And you start thinking, this could be a lot of songs. And then you got to pick one. And you
come back and get stuck and it's like, oh, wait, what song am I doing? And start singing a different song. I've done that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Then my drinking days, I really done that.
Right.
Something I want to touch on because we kind of brushed right past it that, you know, you mentioned that you're able to, you know, make a living at playing music, which is what's special about this area and has been for years and years and years, going back to the blues musicians who, you know, were traveling from the south up to Chicago, would stop here and get a meal.
And there's still people that do that kind of. They stop in and, hey, I'm play here and, you know, I'll play for this much or whatever, and they still do that kind of stuff.
But what people may not understand, well, you know, why are they always talking about money, you know, and this kind of thing. It's never guaranteed because all it takes are venues to go, you know what, we can't afford bands.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden 5 of your gigs just got canceled. Because all of a sudden we're going to switch to a DJ that night or
and that's the thing is,
or
I don't like saying this much or that much because sometimes you know it's just one of them things, man.
But not knowing money is coming in is part of what you have to deal with. You don't know for sure if it's not a guaranteed gig.
No,
anything can happen. Ask Grafton.
All
it takes is the water rising.
I know about that. Back in summer, I remember not getting paid, or you know, what I'm saying something like that, something kick off, and hey, we're not getting paid you tonight. Don't come back anymore.
Grafton's planning the summer season, and it's wiped out for 3 months because the water comes up. So you know,
and a lot of times by this point in the year, Grafton's shut down, but good for them with the past few with the weather. I bet
I've seen some guys playing down there.
Oh yeah, I bet they're
great bands too, man. Yeah.
So back in we're talking about it not being a guaranteed gig because a venue could shut down. They could call you an hour before the gig.
Yeah.
Goes, hey, sorry, man, we're not going to do it tonight.
Unfortunately, that's just something you have to deal with these days. I used to not like that.
We would hear stories about back in the days of the bluesmen as they're coming from and stop in Chicago. They would play the gigs and still. At the end, sorry, we can only afford this much.
Yeah,
we told you that much, but Here's what
Sorry,
you got.
man,
Here's what you got,
stuck
and
with
there's
that,
a pistol sitting on the desk because they hand
get out of
you
here.
less than half. And what are you going to do? You're not from the
Just
town.
want something to eat and make a few bucks, man.
Yeah.
So it comes back to what we talk about all the time. That most of these guys you see playing all the time, they're doing it because they love it.
Yeah,
that's the first thing, right?
Yeah, that's the first
if they
thing.
can make a living on it, bonus.
Yeah, if you're
right.
I mean, a lot of people do it. You can do it. You can do it around here. People say, "Hey, you can't do that." You can. You can.
And the big thing is, though, when somebody needs some money raised for them, all those guys are ready to jump on board, take no money, and make it happen.
Yeah, that's right.
And big numbers come out of some of those. I mean, big numbers.
Yeah, they do.
Come out of those benefits. So, I mean, when the community has to get out and support, and Whiskey River is always doing benefits and things like that.
Yes, sir. We try to.
So,
try to get back. That's a big thing for me. So.
And that's why we talk to people about, look, this is why it's important. Another thing that's important about live music is it draws people to move here. If you got a good entertainment scene, I'm going to move to that town so I can go out every weekend and see live music.
You know what else is important? The fact that the Hideous Gentlemen are playing at the Conservatory tomorrow night. That's important right there.
I think,
I don't think I've ever heard of that band.
I think it's important that Mila Ray Duffey's playing at Morrisons Irish Pub.
Did I skip one?
From 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Breaking out that Irish music.
It's all important.
In a building that flooded. And has bounced back.
Yeah, there you go.
So that Mila Ray's 6 to 10 at the Morrison's Irish Pub tomorrow evening. Then we got pianos at Ragin Cajun going on 9 p.m. through the evening. Borderlines down at Fast Eddie's Bon Air from 7:30 to 11:30 Friday night. City Heat's down at the VFW, while the Graham Band is out at Baker's and Hale and Godfrey on Friday evening.
Yeah, Lanny and Judy at Laux Brickhouse from 7 to 10. Bethalto and the Black Masks with guests at the Junkyard in Wood River, and that's original, Pigpen.
Okay.
I think it's rap.
Who is it?
I think Black Mask. They got some guests coming, but it said original. It mentioned hip-hop or rap or something to that effect. I may be getting that wrong, but
at the Junkyard Bar in Wood River.
That's the old McDonald's in Wood River.
Oh, wow.
Where you used to turn around on the strip and go back to Hardee's on the other end, right?
Wow.
Right?
Right by No Man's Land there.
Right, yeah, right by the donut shop.
Donuts.
Yeah. But speaking of Black Magic, Santana tribute at the Wildey on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Butch Moore, he's Mr. Edwardsville. He's with Matt Gadeken, 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. Cross the line at the Chophouse, 1818 Chophouse, 7 o'clock in Edwardsville. Strangers Duo at the Cabin at Judy Creek on Friday night, 7 to 10. Money Shot down at Doit's, 8:30 start, maybe 9. See how that goes, right? Pontoon Beach. Scruffy looking nerve herder, 6 to 10 at the Speakeasy in Granite City. He's making that a regular stop, isn't he?
Yeah, and good for him. And that Speakeasy with the outdoor stage called, what is it?
Machine Gun Alley.
Machine Gun Alley.
But they're doing it inside now. It's a little cold.
It's getting a little chilly. But, I mean, also, we got Flipside Duo at the Moose on Friday evening. That's the Moose in Granite City. Here we go. Drags Giving, hosted by Mariah Candy with Alexis and Candy Principal. Okay, so 2 candies there, Yeah. Sounds pretty tasty.
8:30 start, $5 at Tegan's.
There you go. Drags Giving.
John Evans, 6 to 9 at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville. And here we go. Here's one of our buddies. Check this out. Night of Real Rock Radio Classic.
Okay.
With Dude Abides and Blue Marlin.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
At the Lincoln Theater, too. That's a nice little venue there.
It's a $15 to $25 ticket for that, and NKC putting that on. So, Mr. Scott.
Excellent.
Marlin.
What else we got on Friday night?
Well, we got Experience Live Music Row.
Yeah, okay.
Down there, still going on. The festival that happens every weekend in Belleville, and has been now for quite some time. We're not going to count the years, though, because you know how we are with years.
83 years this has been going on.
But not an easy thing to do, and cool to see the entire community get together and combine and make an effort on a music scene.
Yeah, and again, to kudos to whoever has put it together, because to keep a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday festival like this going for this long, and that's some hours put in.
Yeah, we've seen some new venues pop in there, like Lexi's, BFF.
Yeah.
They got the Brosip Tucker Band down there on
Nice.
Friday night. Here's one, Papa Vito's. That's one we haven't seen on here that much. Mikey
Yeah.
B. So getting some other venues involved as well. That's pretty cool.
They keep the bands. It's not like it's the same bands every time.
Yeah.
They keep them moving, and that takes a lot of work to keep that going. So
Yeah.
kudos to whoever's got that going on.
H's Bar down there in Belleville does some original music. Chris Stark's going to be there on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Jackson Stokes going to be at Schmitty's in Belleville. And here's our buddy, Sports Cafe. They're going to be up at Wild Pickens
Oh, nice.
in Chesterfield from 6 to 10. Now, Wild Pickens will move their gigs inside,
Absolutely.
once it gets a little cold.
Yep.
Flip the Frog going to be doing Martin's Lanes and Root House. 7:30 start for Flip the Frog on Friday night.
That is a pretty fine Friday evening in the place where the river runs backwards here.
And that's what a lot of like the venues up in Grafton now are not doing Friday nights. They're doing maybe a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon.
Because that's when the weather's still
Right.
been holding out for me.
Yeah.
And like during the summer, that adds a page to what we do.
I know.
Just Grafton alone adds a page. So
Sunday afternoon in Grafton's are good gigs, man.
Yeah.
Nice weather.
People are visiting town. They're
Yeah.
coming in to Grafton for the music, for the wineries, for the fishing. Maybe I don't know.
and for so now you've got the lift, the sky
Right.
lift. You've got the coaster.
Yeah.
You've got the zip lining and
Raging Rivers.
Raging River's been there for years now, and you got
to get something to eat after swimming all day, and you
man.
check out the guy up at Aries or Grafton.
And just like what we were saying about, we see some places that have been there for a long time, and some places come and go. New places, the new one, the Bloody Knee Saloon.
Bloody Bucket.
Oh, well, my wife fell even there the other night and bloodied her knee, so we renamed it the Bloody Knee Saloon.
And that's another lawyer there too, so it could be a battle. Right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
Yeah, well.
So
Whiskey River. What kind of songs you guys play?
We do a little bit of classic rock, alternative, and country, which we make a mix, and I do maybe one or two originals that I do. But
little
Stones, Skinner,
Dance music.
dance music.
Yeah.
We got to do the Mustang Sallies and stuff like that. Of course, we do the basics and stuff. But
You probably do Whiskey River,
we don't do Whiskey River.
and check that out.
See, Whiskey River don't do Whiskey River, but we do some. We do some of the outlaw country.
That's kind of a Mustang Sally song, though. Whiskey River.
It should be. It should be a must for us. We
Yeah.
asked for it a lot.
Every time
But I know on the road again.
every time I've ever seen Willie Nelson play, he plays Whiskey River twice.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to.
And Willie gives a great show. I mean, I've counted like 43 songs.
man.
I saw him play over at Mississippi Nights, and he did 43 songs straight. And I mean, it's a great show. But Whiskey River twice, every time.
He's got
like,
a lot.
I
He's
get
got
it,
a
man.
lot of songs.
Oh yeah, he does.
Not just stuff
Absolutely.
he does. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot.
So we found out recently, Rogers and Ian House told us they even get Freebird yelled out. So Freebird's still a big standard.
Freebird is a big song.
right?
Still, I do play it acoustically sometimes, but I try teaching the band, which I'm not no lead player. I do play a little bit of lead, but I'm just a fiddler.
Yeah.
So,
The one we used to get all the time was Man in a Box.
that one too.
By
Yeah, I
Alice in
don't
Chains.
get that one as much anymore. So
Yeah.
the old crowd's got a little older, so they like the easy listening. I found out.
Yeah.
we do the Bob Seger, Against the Wind, and
A little slower stuff, and
Yeah.
some guys coming in that
So this Adam guy you've been talking about, I'm gonna tell you, this Adam guy.
yeah, he's always
wait a
late.
minute.
He'd
Hey,
be late
hey,
for his own funeral if he couldn't.
Yeah, I was taking a nap next to Liston, and he woke me up and said, "Hey, don't do what I did." So get your butt down there.
I believe that story actually.
Oh Oh man.
You know bass players
It's a
and
feel
stuff.
good story.
Adam Keaty, just in time to tell us some history about the Whiskey River Band. Now, I don't know if you were listening on the way in, but Sean's telling us that, he's a recent member, but that the band had been apart for a little while in between getting him and, your 20 years prior to that. So
About that, wasn't that long?
Indeed, yeah.
It was pretty long. It was a pretty long time.
Yeah, the originals were Zach Hopper and Gardner Holland, Trudy Bonacorsi,
okay.
just
Yeah.
down the road. Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don Penny's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I came in and sang with them when we did a Grafton 150 year anniversary down there on the big
Exactly.
stage. And,
Yeah,
it was
back,
a great time.
back
man.
in the good old days
Yeah.
of block parties,
yeah.
we'd be the house band every block party down at Don and Penny's.
So about what year did Whiskey River get started?
That would have been 03, 04, somewhere in there.
Man, there you go.
Yeah.
That is.
Like you
going
said,
back.
I wanted to
about
say it was
20 years.
90, but maybe not. 'Cause my
Time
band-
flies. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm
The
old,
good
so I
old
don't know.
days.
I don't know what year it is now.
Dude, I want to say
But it's-
1999
It's
was
just
yesterday.
like
So
grabbing the flag and, the show must go on throughout the revolving door of members. We started with 4, went up to 5, 6, played as a 3-piece. Good old Sean came in whenever we needed some help and
Right.
had a bunch of gigs to fill.
I
And,
was telling them that.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
So being around that long, I'm sure like you guys get calls for gigs. You don't have to hustle them as much, right?
It's a little of both.
Okay.
We like going out to bars and social. Whenever we're not playing, we like to see our friends play and
Awesome.
and new
Socialize, push
bands.
other
Yeah,
bands. You see, I push other bands all the time.
Yeah, I do.
I
I
try
do.
to, yeah.
and you just never. I've had the same phone number for a couple decades, so you just never know. It's like, hey, you remember playing 12 years ago, such and such? We want to do that again, or it'll be a place that we play 10 or 12 times a year.
A lot through Messenger. People messenger me. I like messenger me. I found the phone. That thing not always be as great because it's like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them guys. I don't know you. I ain't answering.
This is probably the IRS again. There's
Yeah,
no way.
that's right. It's the FBI.
Might be David Crosby.
Yeah.
I do not take calls from David Crosby. Not anymore. Oh man.
Yeah. So Kenny McPeak and Sean are recent members, then I guess.
Yeah, but
We reformed. Like I
the
said.
last 3-4 years. I'd
Yeah,
say.
we've been about since the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, he's seen me playing I was playing the 140 Club actually, doing acoustic outside in front when they put tables out there during the pandemic. And he came up to like, "I want to start a band again." So we did Whiskey River again. We just didn't know that's what we were going to name it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like, what's the name? I can't think of. Oh, we use Whiskey River. Well, you're your band, but you can use it. He's made a couple numbers, so that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Too hard to come up with a new name.
It
And I don't know, it sticks sometimes, but there's you know how it goes. It's hard to come up with the name is exactly right.
Oh yeah.
So how about you, Adam? Where'd you get your start in music? Was it your parents and influence?
Parents, piano lessons for a couple years, and then as a teenager, picking up guitar and or bass. And,
I'm trying to picture him
feels
with
good.
hairspray and spandex toothpaste. Did you go down that road?
I did not.
Oh.
I did not. I'm more of a '90s,
Okay.
but
So-
hey, I appreciate the '80s. Just the
Right.
Yeah.
same. Good old.
So
yeah.
so more in the Metallica mode?
Yeah, I like Metallica,
Yeah.
Pearl Jam, and Nirvana, but I was a KC baby. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
I listened to the stuff that my older brother listened to and my dad.
Right.
Believe it or not, my dad and his mom went to school together.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now did you
My
guys
dad
know
and his
that
mom
one?
did more than that together.
Oh,
Hey, that's all
Too
right.
much information.
hey, Mom just got out of her chair, Pigpen, and she's headed this way. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Mama's
I'm leaving.
We gotta hurry up and end the show before she gets here, guys.
Yeah.
came in at the right time.
Yeah.
The climax.
So was Whiskey River one of your first bands then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So is it evolved over the years, or are you always been in the dance mode like we were just talking about with Sean?
Well, it's that happy medium of, you've got to entertain and make them happy, but you got to, you can't can't be bored of the same old stuff. You
Right.
know what I mean? So as long as they're happy, we're happy to fill in some songs that we like, and it works well.
So Sean was telling us currently you do not play the song Whiskey River. Did you ever play the song Whiskey River?
We did for about a decade.
Okay.
We did for about a
Old
decade.
school, yeah.
Yeah. But we haven't played it a lot here lately.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, with the fiddle, you get a lot of Devil Went Down to
I
Georgia.
don't really.
Yeah.
Devil Went Down to Georgia.
I never think
So-
of playing it. I just do like to do Willie Nelson because I feel like it's a split from the Whiskey River band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is a great song.
Yep.
You do any like Kansas? Good fiddle playing in Kansas.
Yeah.
Me and Grant do off and on. Like sometimes if people ask for this or that, we'll throw on an
Dust in the
acoustic
Wind,
song,
sure.
or we'll do Dust in the Wind, or Yesterday, or something that I will do acoustically just to fill in because guys take a break, get a drink, it's hot, whatever.
When he said Devil Went Down to Georgia, I'm like, well, there's other fiddle songs.
Oh, my.
Oh, there absolutely is.
South
There
Carolina
absolutely
again.
is,
That's
but-
one I pulled out. Because
Yeah,
Devil
South-
Went Down Georgia's a lot of timing, man. That ain't easy. That ain't easy being cheesy.
Yeah.
Me, I try to simplify everything. Everything
And
we
we
use.
played
how I
it
play
whenever
You know what I'm saying?
whenever they want us to. It's
Yeah, I try to fill requests right off the bat.
just like everything. Even if you don't necessarily want to play it, you got to make the people happy. And if you get it requested a few times, well, we'll bust it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start showing them, play some John Ponte,
Yeah.
Freebird,
Yeah, the Freebird always gets said, that. So I got the hecklers that come out just to heckle me with it. So
I would imagine Grant covers some guitar solos.
he does.
Instead
yes.
of a guitar solo, you let the fiddle player go for a minute.
Yes, he does that. And that it works good.
That
Yeah.
is the happy medium. He can really shred it up, or he can draw back and play some rhythm, or harmonize with the vocal.
He's just got
It's
the ear for it, man. You know what I'm saying? He just
a
right
beautiful
on top
thing.
of it, and he'll do some harmonies over it because those guys don't sing a lot. So
Okay.
I used to do the harmonizer. I kind of got tired of the computerized, which it doesn't sound bad. But
Yeah.
I think it's flat out sounds better.
Well, you use like a pedal.
I used to one of the first harmonizers they come out with, probably early 2000s. Just the pedal. It's a big pedal.
Yeah.
It has a different sounds on it and stuff. You can do 3 harmonies or 2.
I've seen a few guys use them.
You got to be pretty spot
talking.
on. The one
Yeah.
I got was good. You got to be spot on with it. I mean, you can use it, but I'm not no master singer either, so they're hard to work with. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of set it down.
So we got the big holiday for bands, Drinksgiving or
Thanksgiving
or Gobble Wobble, whatever they're calling it, right?
Thanksgiving.
And Sean, you're playing one of those right at the Rustic,
We are at the Rustic.
right? Is that the full band there?
Yes, sir.
Whiskey River
Band.
right? And that's on the 22nd of November, 7 o'clock, the Rustic in Worden. I also got that you guys are playing the Christmas tree lighting on the 1st of December up in Staunton at 4 o'clock.
Illinois.
That should be a good time.
Yeah.
Learn some
forward to
Christmas
that.
songs for it, of course.
Uh-huh.
Got ran over by a reindeer has to be played.
Okay.
That's my favorite
Tis the
Christmas song.
season, right?
I wrote a split song of it, so of course I know it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, all right. And then St. George Room on the 15th of December
Indeed.
up
Special
in
guest Tommy
Carnival.
Hendricks.
Tommy
from Random
Hendricks.
Gravity Band that helps us out every now and then.
Son of Jimi Hendrix.
Son Jimmy, yeah.
You know that's right.
I don't know if that's right. Or
Yeah.
not. It sounded good.
Anything else I might have missed coming up for Whiskey River?
I
For
think
the-
that's the last 3 we get.
Few private parties, but go ahead and mention Max Time Out the Sunday.
Oh,
fun
yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you
Sunday
got
fun day.
Kenny's open jams at Mike's Time Out on Sundays at 3
Yeah.
o'clock, 3 to 7.
So Whiskey River Band down there quite a bit?
Yeah,
or,
we host every about
About once
5
a
to 6
month.
weeks, and then Kenny has a host band just in case nobody shows up, but that's never the case.
Right.
Every time we
That's
host
always
it, we rock out for about 45 minutes, and then there's a rotation of different people that play, and it's a good
Yeah, we got
it's a
some
good
talented
time.
guys come down there,
So
man.
we
That's-
encourage
that's pretty
anybody,
good
whether
lesson.
you're a musician or not, to come out to Max.
3
on
to
Sunday.
7, right?
3 to 7
Sunday.
every Sunday.
And you guys did that down at Martin's Tunes and Eats, and of course they sold the place. So
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
Mac on board though.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. So how's that going so far?
we
You know-
hosted one,
We
and
hosted one.
so
Steve
far
was
so
out of
good.
town. It went real great. Other than that, I think Kenny's doing pretty good with it. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I hope that goes on because you know Mac's one of those guys. If it's too loud one day, you know what I mean.
That's that. In that place, the room's pretty. It's concrete floor on the stage, concrete floor, so it echoes through. You do got to keep it down. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I try to pin our band on. We're not real loud. You can drink and do your thing because we're all mostly acoustic. I don't use all the effects and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's cool though. Max Time Out, good location.
It's a great place. Yeah.
And do they still do that brunch on Sunday too?
They do.
Oh,
they do. That's the only day they do it. I believe.
You guys are hooked up.
It was a good crowd. Yeah.
I think the gal said that's 9 to 1, maybe.
Yeah. So you
I
get
cannot
there.
confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
I need to
Get there a little early though, you guys, before you play, and let that settle real good before you get up there and get people started with the open mic night.
Right.
That's pretty cool down at Max Time Out. Well, Pigpen, let's go over some Saturday stuff. Coming up this weekend, the piano's down at Ragin Cajun. As always, Naked Soul doing 2 to 6 and Borderline. Doing Fast Eddies from 7:30 to 11:30 on Saturday. The Grand Band at Baker's and Hale and Godfrey on Saturday from 7 to 11. Somebody doing audio distilled, I think, still at the Blue Stem Vodka in Meadowbrook. They move inside
old
too.
Blue Stem.
Yeah.
That's my favorite vodka.
Good vodka, and the weather's held out where I'm sure they're probably still having bands, and I think they moved
They make
inside
a good
there now.
gin now too.
Are they making
check
gin
that
now
out.
too? I
Darn
did
right.
not even know that.
Yep.
But
I seen where they were pushing Baker's and Hale to take Blue Stem vodka because Baker's and Hale had posted something like, "What kind of vodka should we get?" And it was nice to see the community jump on Blue Stem.
Absolutely.
Never vodka guy.
Get the local guys, yeah.
Yeah. I heard it's pretty
cool.
good from there, though. I have heard
It
that.
is.
vodka's pretty good.
I
I'll
heard
agree with
it's
that.
all pretty good. from
Yeah,
everything.
it is. Yeah, well, all vodkas will get you there. It's how you feel the next day.
Ah,
Blue Stem, I've never had a hangover.
Well,
Knock on
it took
wood.
me some time to figure it out because I'm slow on the uptake. But it comes down to that how it treats you the next day, and even that day, it to me comes down to how many times it's been distilled, how many times it's been filtered.
Yeah.
And if it's been filtered, distilled 3-4 times, you're doing good, man. You're doing great.
Amen.
But yeah, that rot gut. Here, we just pumped this out of the still.
Right.
Crystal Palace.
Chris, there you go.
Yeah, right.
It's good for like
Straight to
cleaning
the
the
right.
heads on your tape player back in the day.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on Saturday. WTF.
Worth the Fight.
Yeah, Worth the Fight. 9 o'clock at the Shortstop in East Alton, doing a show down there.
Excellent.
Trixie Delight at the Pump House at 9. Jeremiah Johnson coming to town playing the old McDonald's. 7:30 at the Junkyard down there in Wood River. Yeah, that ought to be fun. Jeremiah Johnson, the blues man. Scruffy looking nerf herder back at it on Saturday from 2 to 5 at Sparky's in South Roxanne. Isaiah Christian up at George's Local Brew from 6 to 9. Hey, the ice rink opens up at the loading dock this weekend.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, so they've stopped their bands and they move inside and do ice rink.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Bearded Bandits doing the Grafton Winery from 3 to 7. Grand Pagano at Aries at 1 o'clock. And Money Shot playing a new venue. Station 3 in Morrow.
Okay.
For
Morrow,
Money
huh?
Shot,
Wow.
yeah.
I drove through Morrow the other day. Didn't notice a venue.
We noticed that
Interesting.
Rogers and Neenhouse has sold out the Wildey on Saturday, though, and congratulations to them. But they got the Sunday show, so if you didn't get in on it, you can get the Sunday ticket for Rogers and Neenhouse 30th anniversary at the Wildey Theater. There's some vocal harmonies right there.
That's a good band.
Absolutely.
Good deal, man.
Yeah, and right across the parking lot that night, they're closing down the back bar in Edwardsville, and Poor Dirty
Hate to hear
Astronaut.
that.
Yeah, Poor Dirty Astronaut will be there at
All
9
the old
o'clock.
lorries are shutting down, huh?
Yeah. So Marion going to call it quits, and they're going to do a little tribute to her this Saturday night. So get out and check out the Poor Dirty Astronauts at 9 o'clock after you see Rogers and Neenhouse. Lanny and Judy doing Big Daddies around the corner on Saturday from 6 to 9. Rewind right next door at the Foundry Public House in Edwardsville from 2 to 5. Two things, 7 to 10 at the cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon. Rock Box. 9 o'clock at Patrick's in Granite City on Saturday. Decades apart, 8 o'clock at Tegan's Pub in Granite City on Saturday. And Flipside, 8 o'clock at Patty McDee's in Granite City, where they'll be playing Drinksgiving, right? The 22nd of November. Phase 2 down at Doit's Village Inn on Saturday. And that pretty much wraps up the local guys, except for like Lazy Lester playing out at Mel's Place in Mount Olive on Saturday from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m.
All right.
And
Road
Flip the
gig.
Frog playing the Super Bowl in Staunton, right?
Oh, right on.
Right.
No, it's
That's
Super
really
Bowl. Is it
Gillespie.
Besserman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gillespie, Illinois.
Right.
No,
yeah.
no, they Flip the Frog's gonna
Super
play.
Bowl.
They're playing the Super Bowl, and I'm predicting that Lynn has a wardrobe malfunction, much like Janet Jackson did.
I had one of them.
Yeah. So yeah.
Back in the late 80s.
Right. My shorts were just a little too short.
I caught my hair on fire on a Pepsi commercial.
You know.
Yeah, and we talked about the open mic on Sunday down there at Max Timeout from 3 to 7. They always have the open mic as well down at the Stagger Inn on Sundays from 6 to 10, so you can do 2 of them on a Sunday.
All right.
Do the Max and then head to Edwardsville and do one if you really want to get out and open mic it. Those
Yeah.
are 2 pretty good ones, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a couple of good ones right there. So
We mentioned Rogers and Nienhouse firing up show number 2 on Sunday. We got Shotgun Creek at Big Daddy's, the trio, on Sunday. And Drew Lance out at the cabin at Judy Creek. And Scott and Michelle down at Doit's Village Inn on Sunday. So Sunday's still hopping a little bit, even though Grafton has kind of shut down some of their outside stuff getting into late November. But they'll do the pop-up gigs,
yeah,
so you never know.
well, that is a ton of stuff happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to go over Thanksgiving Eve, right?
Okay, what
November
do we got?
22nd. Of course, you know, the string thing, open mic, hosted by Spilly Nelson and friends down at the Conservatory on Wednesdays. That should be still going on
Big
for that.
fan of Spilly Nelson.
And if you're a musician, and especially if you got like a band and you're thinking, man, I'd like to go to an open mic night, but you only get to play a couple songs, and who wants to take the drums and the bass? And these guys supply the back line. Spilly Nelson's gear is set up. You can plug your guitar into their amps. You can use their guitar. I mean, they're really pretty laid back. So if you got a band that's wanting to do an open mic night, this is the easiest one to do for
Yeah.
sure.
How about the one on Sunday? The band that's playing or hosting does.
Exactly. Yeah, there's always drum set up, the PA set up and ready to go. So
Different band.
if you want to bring your own equipment, obviously you can. But if you want to plug into our stuff, we're happy with that too.
Nice.
He has a different host band every week, so he
Because,
tries to
and sometimes
keep the music.
like drums, bass, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like that's a good backline to have. And I understand sometimes guitar players are like, oh well, I want to bring my rig because
Yeah, and
I've got
that's
this
what I try.
sound, you know, or whatever. But when you've got the drums and the bass set up, that takes a lot.
That makes it a lot
and,
easier,
and a
yeah.
vocal PA already set up. That so every Sunday there is a backline
Yeah.
Ready to
at,
go.
at Max also. So
They got a backing group, different host every week.
there
Yeah,
you go.
that's cool. Also going on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Jay and Waylon at Fast Eddie's from 6 to 10. Porch Cafe at Roper's Regal Beagle from 7 to 11. Leadfoot out of Baker's and Hale from 6 to 10. And Godfrey, Gobble Till You Wobble.
This sounds good.
Thanksgiving Eve with Foot the Frog, 7 to 11 at the Sunset Grill in Godfrey.
She's a goblin, a hobgoblin.
Sunset Grill.
Scott Marlin's new tribute band. Actually, he joined this band.
Okay.
Grand Illusion. The Sticks.
Illusion.
Yeah.
Grand illusion.
Welcome.
That might
Right.
be good.
Grand Illusion.
Styx Tribute.
I like Sticks.
8 o'clock at the Wildey Theater, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, where they'll also have the open mic at the Stagger Inn, as they do every Wednesday and Sunday. Charles Glen, the astronaut. It's got to be him, Big Ben. I mean,
Charles, man.
it's not.
You know,
At the 1818 Chophouse on Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
that sounds right to me. Whew.
I'd believe it if it was Poor Dirty Astronaut, but I don't think that's the same astronaut. How about Mike Sonderegger? He's
Yeah.
doing a Drinksgiving, right? 7 to 10 at Global Brew in Edwardsville. The Double Wide Duo doing the cabin at Judy Creek Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Toxic Johnny down at Patty McDee's in Granite City.
We've got him coming on, in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys too, PC Homegrown / Screaming Eagles Jam Band.
Yes.
I don't know
they will.
which one will be there. It's one of those two.
So
It's all one and the same.
It's
I
all
believe.
it's
Pretty
all
good.
kind of one
Pretty
and
good
the
original
same.
band, man. We heard them last week. They were pretty good.
Yeah, we're gonna have them in. They're gonna be our last show of the year, so they'll be like December 28th or something like that.
They're doing the Prairie Inn on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Another band that shows up at the open mics at a Max Timeout. At least they did down at Martin's.
They did.
Good
They
old
were
Prairie
down
Inn.
there.
last week. We
Tom
hosted.
Wiley.
They were there.
Yeah, you take your golf cart down to the Prairie Inn and check out the bands?
No, but I might ride my 4-wheeler up there.
Right. See,
Again, you know?
see, this is what we
Within
hear.
the country.
That's what,
Sticks, buddy.
Yep.
yeah, that's what we hear about that place. You
Yeah.
play for the golf carts.
Well, in Bunker Hill, it's legal. They drive their
I was
Golf carts
just
to the
in Dorsey a couple of hours ago. Bertles.
Oh, very good.
Dropping off a mower to get fixed.
Yeah, oh yeah. I just passed that place, man.
The Subs also playing, it says, 7 to 10
Subs.
at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. And then here's Thanksgiving Eve with Whiskey River, 7 o'clock at the Rustic
Here's
at
them
Worden.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I met those guys one
Man, I tell you
time.
that, man.
Bass player's dead sexy.
Dollar for every time I heard that.
I'd have $2.
Try to sell them off for tips, but
Yeah.
And I know the one was lying.
So a little bit of everything the Whiskey River Band plays.
we try to.
Yeah. And easy place to find you guys is on Facebook, right?
Yes,
get
sir.
Get Whiskey, though. If you're
Get-
finding other Whiskey Rivers,
There is, you know how it is out of state bands. There's always another whiskey.
look in
River
the
around.
address and make sure it says Get Whiskey.
At Get Whiskey.
Yeah.
Get
yeah.
whiskey,
That
yeah.
was my doing.
Because I know another Whiskey River band from the Philippines.
Yeah, I seen
I
something
don't
from
know
like out of
about
state.
I don't know
I
if
thought,
that's true.
well, we'll rename it because he was in this band for like before like 20 years. So
Right.
I know it's been around before, so
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have that where they got their band name.
Somebody wants to book you guys. What do they got to do for that?
They got to call Willie Nelson himself.
They call this guy right here.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Or they can messenger us on our Whiskey River Band page. So,
So that's what I was going to say. How do we know how
You
to
gotta
call
know.
this guy? We just like, hey, Adam, hey.
That's right. 618-530-7649.
Thought he was going to say 555 for a minute. I was going to have to call you out.
618-530-7649 to hire the Whiskey River Band or stop by their Facebook page at Get Whiskey. And you'll see that beautiful smile of Kenny McPeak in that photo.
Yeah. And if you're on the website to message him, enter promo code BigBoy69. No, I don't know if that really gets you any discounts or not. It should. It should, though.
if you enter now, we can send you a naked picture of Grant Texter.
Nice.
Oh, man.
He's like that. We get him.
I got to get on this, man.
He's game. It'll be all right.
Yeah, he'd be game, man. He would be game.
Now, did he have hairspray back in the day, too?
Oh, I never used hairspray. We got the what you call it?
Spandex.
The moose and the
Moose.
spandex.
Right, yeah.
Dapper
That was
Dan.
around the time. I think Cottonmouth was around. That,
Yeah.
around that time. It was, yeah, you guys were from Gillespie, were you?
No, well, sort of.
Aaron.
Eric and Aaron were from Benell.
Benell, that's right.
Yeah.
Benell or Gillespie, because I knew
Yeah,
they were.
yeah.
That
And it-
road that leads from Benell to Staunton, they lived right there.
The Route 4, the
Yeah.
Daily
Route
Road.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and one
so-
sinking.
Good old Cottonmouth. Going to pot.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember.
That's it. Thank you very much for remembering that. Yeah. Whiskey River Band. Remember that, folks. Get out and see them. And they can play just about anything. They might whip out a Metallica song. You never know.
I do that sometimes.
The only thing we
With a
kinda
fiddle.
know-
Yeah, with the fiddle.
The only thing we kind of know is you're probably not going to hear Whiskey River.
Hey, after this interview, damn it, you're going to hear it.
Adam knows that I haven't learned
Man,
it.
we talking about Metallica. Went and saw them the Friday night show. And
Okay.
Man, oh man, it was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Really good show.
Nice.
It is.
It's nice to see the dome full again.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw the dome full at a monster truck pull.
yeah, here.
And it was one of those, like, I don't know if like smoking inside was the big thing, but like people, like the commercial was like, you can smoke inside.
Looked like a Ozzy concert, right?
Oh yeah, drink beer, punch a baby,
Hey, kudos once again to Mama Garrett. Is that her name?
Briskovich.
Briskovich. I'm going to call her Mama
Yeah.
Garrett.
She remarried from
Okay.
my dad.
Random Gravity, though.
Random Gravity.
Right.
Speaking of
They're now
mamas,
booking, too.
speaking of mamas, we got to hurry up for Mama Bash.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gone her way, but
She's on her way here to take me out for something. I said, I don't even remember what.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, hey, thanks so
Thank you.
much for coming down, guys.
Thank you for
very
asking
nice.
us.
Thank you.
You know what? I want to say especially thanks to you, Sean, for being here the whole time. Because some people just show up.
like somebody's got to hold this thing together,
Yeah, some
man.
people show up like, hey, I show up when I feel like it, man.
Well, some guys got day jobs, some guys get to play music for a living. That's just how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
being the squeegee guy at a nudie store isn't really
Yeah.
a job. I think it's more of a hobby.
Like I said, I had a pregame, you know. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Sean Garrett, Adam
Keaty.
Adam
Yeah.
Keaty, and Grant and Kenny couldn't make it. Kenny, I always sort of make sexual
They got
advances
real
towards him.
jobs, man.
He doesn't like coming in because I get a little handsy sometimes when I've been drinking.
Yeah,
And when I haven't been drinking.
Well, thank you for keeping it reserved.
Oh,
So,
quit
no, yeah,
acting like
do
I haven't
appreciate
had his hand on the counter the whole time.
Thanks for having
No,
us, man. We appreciate
hey,
it.
if nobody saw it, it didn't happen.
Right. All right, hey, everybody get out,
And,
check out Whiskey River, check him out on Facebook, and for sure get out and
618-530-7649 if you want to book them through Adam Keaty.
yeah.
And also stop by Halpin Music and tell them thank you for supporting this show now for 10 years. Oh, sorry,
That was 20
7
years. You
seven
said,
and a
you told me 20.
7.5. It's
Hey, it's a
almost
great
7
show.
3/4.
Great show, guys.
Yeah, and thank Matt Van Voorhis. Just go to a Stubblefield show and
Absolutely.
or stop in Town Club. Maybe tell them because Matt gives his advertising to them.
Absolutely.
Matt decided at one point, he's like, just pass my advertising around to whoever I tell you. So like it's been Mr. Donut, it's been
a car place, total
Smart
car,
Choice Auto,
Smart Choice
yeah.
Auto. There you go. But what a great guy for doing that. Thanks to both of them for sponsoring this show for so long now. And big thanks to our guest, Whiskey River. Get out, check them out, and for sure, people, get out and support local music and art.